All right, let's talk about the oldest, most trusted form of marketing out there, word of mouth. For centuries, it's been the lifeblood of businesses. But in our digital world, there's kind of this ghost in the machine, and it's changing the game in ways most of us don't even see.
I mean, how many times have you heard this? Or maybe you've even said it yourself, right? Most of our business comes from word of mouth. And look, it's a really comforting thought. It makes you feel like your quality, your service, it just speaks for itself. It feels like this direct, trusted line from a happy client straight to a new one.
And you know what? For decades, for a really long time, it was that simple. It was the golden rule. A friend at church, maybe a neighbor over the fence, they'd say, "Oh, you got to use them. They're the best." And that was it. That was all it took. The very next step was a phone call. It was this beautiful, simple, and just incredibly effective system.
So, this is the big question we're digging into today. What happens when that simple direct line gets a detour? What happens when that straight path from A to B suddenly has this new, mandatory stop along the way? Kind of like an invisible checkpoint that can totally change where a customer ends up.
And that detour, yeah, you guessed it, is Google. It's become the new middleman in pretty much every transaction, and it has completely rewired the whole referral process. What used to be this private recommendation between two people has now become a public audition for everyone to see.
Let's just look at the difference. The old way was so simple. A friend recommends you, the family calls you, 2 steps, done. But the new way, it starts the same. A friend recommends you. But that second step, oh, it's not a call anymore. It's a search. And that one tiny little change, it makes all the difference in the world.
Okay, so let's really break down what that Google search actually means. It's not just a quick check to get your phone number. No. After they get that recommendation, they search your name and bam, immediately they're looking at your reviews, your website, and this is the crucial part, they are also seeing your competitors, who Google's algorithm helpfully places right there next to you. The phone call, that only happens after all of that.
So here's the absolute key takeaway. A referral used to be the finish line, right? It was the end of the customer's search. You won. But now it's the starting gun. A recommendation from a trusted friend is literally the trigger that kicks off the online comparison shopping process.
And this new process, this is exactly where things can just fall apart. A business can get a 5-star, glowing, absolutely perfect recommendation, do everything right in the real world, and still lose the customer without ever knowing why. So let me introduce you to your new antagonist, the silent competitor. And listen, this isn't the business down the street you've been competing with for 20 years. No, this is the competitor with a slightly better website or a few more recent reviews that Google's algorithm serves up right when your potential customer is looking for you by name. They can literally steal that referral right out from under you at the last digital second.
And this is such a crucial shift in thinking. Let's say a friend tells you they referred their cousin, but that cousin never calls. Your first instinct might be to think, maybe it wasn't a strong recommendation. But that's not it. The recommendation probably worked perfectly. It was the digital confirmation that failed.
And you know what? It is surprisingly easy to break that referral chain. So, a potential customer, they're armed with this great recommendation, they find you online, but maybe your last review is from 2 years ago. Or your website just looks old, unprofessional. If they can't find basic information, a little seed of doubt gets planted. And that doubt, it leads them right over to one of those silent competitors.
Okay, so how do we fix this? How do we win? Well, we have to master what I call the digital handshake. Think about it. A firm handshake and a clean office build confidence in person. Your online presence has to do the exact same thing, but digitally. It has to reinforce the trust that the original recommendation created.
So here's your checklist for a successful digital handshake. You need strong, positive, recent Google reviews. You need a professional, clear, easy-to-use website. You gotta provide helpful info right where people expect to find it. When your online presence actually mirrors the quality you provide in the real world, you don't just secure the referral, you make it even stronger.
And this is the goal. This is what we're aiming for. You want the person who was just referred to you to land on your digital doorstep and feel this immediate sense of relief and confirmation. Like, okay, no need to look any further. My friend was right. That feeling, that yes, this is the right place, that's what ends the comparison shopping and finally leads to that phone call.
All right, so after looking at the old path, the new detour, and how to navigate it all, we can really boil this down to a simple, modern formula for what word of mouth has actually become today.
Here it is. It's this simple.
Today, word of mouth is a two-part equation. The first part is exactly the same as it's always been, a recommendation from a trusted source. But that second part? It's new, and it is absolutely non-negotiable. Online validation. If either part of this equation is weak or missing, the whole thing just falls apart.
Now, to be perfectly clear, this is not a eulogy for word of mouth. It hasn't died. In fact, it's probably more powerful than ever, but it has evolved. And understanding this two-part evolution, that's the key to actually getting value from every single referral you get. So, we'll leave you with this one thought. The oldest, most powerful form of marketing, word of mouth, now sends every single one of your potential customers directly to Google's front door before they even think about calling you. So the only question left is, what are they going to find when they get there?